Hello. Hi, Rachel. How are you? I just thought I'd come on and show everybody that didn't know who I was, my CPA badge, because apparently I put it on here for advertisements because nobody knows who I am. So you know yourself. Thanks for that, Betty. How are we all doing? Is all enjoying your Sunday? Hey, Froggy Melly. I'm gonna pin the YouTube comments up here because people from Facebook can't see. How we all doing? I'm good, thanks. Yeah, it's all I know. It's not many people has heard of CPA at all. So, according to Betty, I put it up there, so I'm giving myself some props and all that, looking for views and all that shizzle. So, post the link if anybody wants to join. I didn't even really tell anybody I was going live. I just decided to go live. Not a good runs or over my toe. It's playing like a fucker. I live. Oh, what? There's nothing as bad as stumping your toe. Hey, Nanny. Oh, Mel. Your froggy belly. Yeah, it's nice here as well, Angel. I'm just about to go into a post roast in her coma. Oh, lovely, Elaine. The weather is lovely here, actually. We were supposed to have bad rain the last couple of days, and then it was to get nice from today, but we didn't get any rain. No, I just want to anyone got along I can have had mine robbed at knife point also. I know what you're talking about. Who gets their TV robbed at knife point? What? Because you obviously stroll down the street with your TV on your back. Fucking hell, that was hilarious. That was. I'm good, Louise. How are you all doing anyway? Is everybody enjoying their Sunday? Elaine, I'm surprised you were early to the stream. You're normally always late. Blame the dog. Yeah. Fucking hell. You took it out for a stroll. Ava, do you know what? Seriously. When I saw Wayne's post, I was like, what the fuck? Who gets their TV robbed at knife point? Oh, don't make me laugh. I'll start coughing. Yeah, it's sad. It's hilarious. Yeah, Pam, I'm not actually staying on that long. Um, Even though I said to you today I was going off to cut the forest in the back garden, I kind of talked myself out of it. Although it didn't take very long to talk myself out of it, to be honest. So it definitely needs to be done today. I'll have a nice time with them, Jacqueline. Yeah. Hey, Don. How are you doing, love? I'll let you have a look if I get more than one. Fuck it out. I need more than a lung. There's Joanne Beatty on YouTube. Hey, Joanne. Poor Joanne is on a ban. Yeah, so do you know what? I caught up on Shinny's live today. Honest to God, Shinny, do you know what? You're such a fucking idiot, man. Honestly. Do you know what's wrong with him? Because his plan to get loads of people back into the tribe and work on getting the numbers up hasn't worked for him at all. And he looked very, very concerned yesterday, asking people, oh, find your morals and all this. Listen, post up the proof, Shinny, where Maxine was attacked. Post the proof up where your unborn child was attacked. Listen, everybody knows that, yeah, a pregnant woman doesn't need the stress, but what she doesn't need is an absolute raving lunatic sitting outside her house shouting at a fucking screen, because that's what you're doing. Crying like a little bitch because things aren't going your way. Listen, it's people's choice whether they want to fucking pay it or whether they don't. But you sitting there threatening everybody, going over stuff that happened months and months ago and still trying to make it relevant is fucking disgusting. At the end of the day, you're the one that constantly bringing it up. Hey, everybody. He sounded drunk, or maybe he had been crying for hours before coming live. Could have. Here's the thing as well. You see, he was going on there going, money doesn't matter, money doesn't matter. But Maxine's company has had a massive hit. Massive hit. She was hoping to go and do that stall thing, and she got an email to say that she wasn't welcome because she owned the other company. And it looks like she's trying to go into the pharmacy business. And obviously, I don't know whether she's in it or not, but that, I won't say festival, whatever it's called, can't remember now. That's a huge hit for her company. And you know what? Chances are, I know the UK is locking down on all that kind of Botox injections and stuff like that. You have to be a qualified nurse. So her company's taking a huge hit. And he's trying to scaremonger people into thinking now it's because of everybody tormenting him. Shinny puts the S in snowflake. He does. I don't even know who I am now. She has a separate pharmacy company, but other pharmacies don't like her sister company. Yeah, well, unfortunately, yeah, the Exo Jack, that's the word I'm looking for. Desperately seeking Noreen. Hello, I'm still desperately seeking Noreen. Please help me. If you look up Snoreen, you might find her under that. But you know what? Here's the thing. He's sitting crying on fucking Facebook because things aren't going his way. Has she deleted her Instagram account? I couldn't see it. I'm not sure, Cathy. You have to be a medical subscriber to do Botox. Yeah, I think that law was only changed, I'm pretty sure, recently. I'd be sobbing my heart out too if I lost my income. Yeah, exactly, Angela. But look, here's the thing. That was her chosen profession. And she's like, she was very successful in it. But, that's coming down the line a long time now that the laws were going to be changed on that. So that's nobody's fault that the laws was changed. He is the one putting undue stress on her. He's constantly is going live, going on about what is going on. What the fuck does he expect? But do you know what? That's exactly my point. Like he was saying there, his 10-year-old baby girl isn't getting the father, that she deserves. Now, well, you're not even living in the same country as a first start, right? You're talking about, oh, my son could be watching. If you think your 17-year-old son is watching, well, guess what? You don't fucking talk about the things that you talk about. She's obviously in earshot, and he's talking about threatening people and people threatening him. And like, here's the thing: how do we know that nobody, like, that he didn't send those messages to himself for fucking sympathy? Because majority of what he's talking about happened months and months ago. Like, you're talking back in April. That's when it all happened. April, May time, I think. It's all been dealt with. It's all under the carpet. But no, he's still fucking banging on about it. And you know what, Shinny? Go on your fucking podcast. Do your podcast. Nobody gives a fuck. It's going to be explosive, because probably half the stuff on it that you'll say is probably made up shit. The problem is you're a narcissist, and you hate when anybody says anything different to you, and you always try and control a narrative. His son was watching last night, and he was so wrapped up in himself he didn't even notice his son say hi and ask if he was okay. That's very sad, isn't it, Sal? He is only worried about him and his money spinner, but doesn't see the wood for the trees, ignoring what should be looking after her. Like, here's the thing: why is he constantly going live? He's saying that page is free, right? This is his new swing on things now. Even after telling everybody to unsubscribe the other day, he's now saying that it's just that page is free. Well, if he's doing that free and free off his own time, why the fuck is he doing that for people, right? When he has a pregnant missus to look after at home. Like, she's sitting in earshot, listening to him scream, rant, rave, actually say he's unhinged, and she has a little boy around her. Well, I tell you one thing: if I was that little boy's father or family member, I'd be fucking dragging her ass to court and getting them out of there. Dorky fan 12, you're not coming on because you're the one that flashed your arse yesterday. Come up right. No thanks, Dorky fan. Man, people remember your man yesterday that flashed his butt. He's trying to get back on. That poor little lad, I feel, having to constantly imagine. Like, I think that little boy is only a couple of years anyway, 4 or 5 maybe. It's disgusting. What about the threats he tried to get against you, Louise? I know, right? Listen, here's the thing: Shinny's not connected at all. He's full of shit. All a Shinny is a mouthpiece. That's all. And it just goes to show the type he is. He wasn't sitting there with a face on him when he thought that he had the backing of people on there. He was sitting there. Remember, people, when he thought he had the backing of fucking paramilitaries and stuff like that, he was sitting there with a fucking smile on his face. And now all of a sudden it's doom and gloom. A real father would be at home looking after his daughter, not in a foreign country. I turned the job turned the job in a foreign country that would have. Exactly, Jack. And listen, here's the thing: there is fathers that people that don't have a choice to go away but to work. Get your CPA badge off whilst you were mobbing. What's mobbing? Bay Barnes. Bye, Betty. Oh, bye, Betty. I bet you I'll keep my CPA badge on all day, every day if I want to. My mum says she received a video and the girl commented looked famous and fit. Yeah, I was saying, like, some people don't have a choice but to go away and work. And you know what, that's okay. But he's gone away, sitting there, swimming, getting up, swimming in the pool, walk on the beach, walk around the place. You know, disgusting. If anybody's stressing Maxine out, it's him with his constant shite. He's talking day in, day out, dragging old stuff up. Can't show out new. Can't show out new. The only thing that's pissing him off is the fact that we're on here talking about him. Like, Two Mad Paddies hasn't talked about him, I don't think, but we're on here talking about him, and that's pissing him off because narcs don't like others' views. They don't like other people to have a bad view with them, and that's what's wrong with him. He's an absolute gobshite. Has Betty got an axe to grind? Betty's better off going back into her garden. Clean your hands, Betty. Betty's calling for a ceasefire. Betty can go and piss off. That's Betty's new word for trolling. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
What's the story, Johnny?
You all right, Lou?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Cheers.
Oh, I thought I left
Fucking
here
knackered, but I'm fine.
Good stuff.
Nice weather, innit?
Claire, you're just crackling, Mrs.
Sorry.
Oh, good Lord. You're on, but you're crackling. Oh. You sound like you're in a packet of crisps again.
It's you, not me.
No, it's not you, Claire. Oh my God, I'm muted. Get your sound muted. Why won't you let me mute you? Oh, it did.
Oh, is that better, isn't it?
Yeah, I muted her, that's why.
All right. Oh, yeah, I'm all right, you?
Have you seen Betty's post about your YouTube today? It's not mine, Sarah, it's Claire's. Well, here's the thing, like someone sent it, Betty has me blocked a long time, but someone sent it to me yesterday, and, I have to laugh at the estimated earnings. I think it was £66 to whatever it was, like, makes you fucking laugh. And you know what, Claire's channel is monetized, but the fact is that the majority of what has been spoken on here, how it's been spoken, the language used, the channels don't get monetized, right? But if you do, you get patents for it, right? But people need to remember, Claire's after going out of her way now and paying for the StreamYard subscription, which I think is like £40 a month or something. Do you know what I mean? So, like, what she's only probably, if she even gets that, I don't even think she'll get that. But if she does, she does. It'll pay for the StreamYard, and everybody is on StreamYard night and day with us. So it benefits everybody, really. But yeah, she's fucking tickling someone. John, anyway, how's your holidays go with your kids and all?
Sorry.
How'd your holidays go?
Oh, fuck me. It was brilliant, apart from I didn't mind going on the little rides with Litland, but the others got me on some fucking rides and a half.
Right. You
I'll tell
sound
you
quite
what, though, it was a good job. We went on the roller coaster where your feet dangling skeggy the day before we come home on Friday, because we went round the market on Friday before we come home. We're sitting having a drink, and the fucker was stuck right at the very top. It was. So I'm glad I went on it then. It was good, though. I didn't think all the shinny shit would still be going on.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I thought 4 or 5 days, it might calm over a bit, but it's got worse, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know what? He went on a live last week and said that that was it. He was done with subscription. Everybody was to unsubscribe. It was all free, and he was having nothing to do with it, and fuck it all, and then this, that, and the other. And then 2 days later, boom. Now we say no, his Shinny Lives is free on the Shinny page, but the page is still, you're still being charged.
Oh, dear. I saw that, one where he said, "Oh, I'm not doing it, this, that, and the other no more," and then he does that. Well, it's mental, isn't it?
Mm.
Can you hear me all right now, guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Have you just blocked Betty Barnes? I wanted to speak to Betty. I've just watched her dogging live. I see she's taking the bestiality outdoors. Betty, I know you've got LDs, but SYLM does not make us slime. There's 2 letters are the wrong way around there, I'm afraid, love. Try again. I'll give you 1 out of 10 for actually getting all the letters right. Oh, apparently we're going to have blood on our hands, according to Betty. We've all got blood on our hands.
Oh my God, that's
We should just leave him alone to get on with it. What is wrong with us?
Yes, Wanda. Wanda has a question, please. And he so graciously put his hand up. I didn't send the link around as I was too fucking lazy. I think I posted it in 2 groups. I'll post it there if anybody wants
I'll
to come
send
up.
it to a few people.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
Did you pin it?
No, I didn't pin it. I just
can't get the staff. Just can't get the staff, can we? Yeah, so Betty's live was just really funny. Just leave him alone. It's all our fault that, if something happens to Maxine's baby. He's had no part in any of this, of course. I mean, he's not took thousands of pounds off innocent, vulnerable people. No, he's not done any of that, has he? No, of course. But we're to just leave him alone. And now we're slime, Louise.
Slime. Oh my Lord. Oh, me internet
spelled incorrectly.
So poor, Betty. So poor. So poor, Betty. You see, Betty, I'm not like the rest. I'll block you off here. You have me blocked, so you're blocked off here. So you can go snake behind my back and talk about me. At least here you can still hear what I've got to say about you, you fucking dog and bitch. And I won't let you come up on the stream yet. You can go screw yourself.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. I can't lie, it was entertaining, Betty. That's I'll give you 1 out of 10 for a little tiny bit of entertainment. It made me laugh.
10 months now. 10 months now she is.
10 months. She's about 14 years. But you were right, Betty. He is a broken man, and that's correct. And that in itself should tell him something. And Betty, I'm going to put something else to you. We're all awful. And do you really think in your little tiny mind, Betty, that all these thousands of people could possibly be wrong, except that you're the one that's right?
Well, hang on now.
Really work that, does it?
But no, hang on. Betty doesn't tell lies, Claire. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
she's
no.
Never been in Shinny's inbox. Never.
No, never.
Never. She doesn't tell lies, Betty. Don't you not, Betty? And you don't ring ferry companies and get people arrested, don't you not, Betty? Because you're not nasty. Like that wouldn't have had blood on your hands.
Oh, apparently.
That was funny, wasn't it? That was hilariously funny for you, Betty, wasn't it? People in glass.
Apparently it was ages. It was ages ago, so that doesn't count apparently.
Oh, right.
Didn't she tie a dog up the
Yeah.
other day and give it a blowjob because that's the only way she could get near it?
She gave it a toe job, did it? Well, about 2-3 weeks ago, but I do believe she was at her dog again today in the garden. Poor bloody dog should be
Dirty old
taken off
bag.
her.
Oh, I think she was out at a local dogging spot. I think that's what I saw. I think that's why the camera caught. I think she got a
I think
bite.
the local dogging spot's on her head, isn't it?
No, that wouldn't trust that wouldn't surprise me if she's at a dogging spot. It's the only bit of twinge she gets in her minge.
You'd have to be pretty
So
desperate.
no appearance from Mr. Shinny today. It's interesting.
No.
You know,
Maybe Max.
Yeah,
having the
sure.
maybe-
baby, you
It's
never know.
going to come out. So her and Lynn are going to do a big exposure because Lynn has about 10 people to come on. I think she's just waiting to make sure that she can get them all on at one time.
yeah, maybe
You
he's
never know.
practicing for his podcast.
Or Maxine's having the baby. You never know, do you? Really?
Well, reading between the lines, it was quite clear that Maxine's told him to pack it in. And even then, he couldn't even do that for her. Yesterday, he still had to keep bringing her up. You know, and he's admitted it's affecting the way he is with his family. That's the way you are with your family, Shani. We're not making you be like that. And if something in your life is making you feel like that, and you're not being very nice to your family, then take it out of your life. Walk away from it. We can't do that for you, Shani. Only you can do that for yourself.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at you, man. I'm in one of those giddy humors today.
I bet it needs worming.
Needs more than fucking warming.
So, you know, I mean, he couldn't have gone down the woe is me route right now, could he? I mean, God, he almost brought me to tears watching him in tears.
I had to laugh at his whole, I'll just go knock on their doors, like, and all that, you know, because, like, you know, I've said to the police that if they don't do nothing, that I'm going to do, and they do nothing, so I'm going to do something. Yeah, Sinead, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Nobody's knocked on your door. People have only asked you questions on Facebook, something you don't want to answer. You know, and here's the thing, he knows everybody was right. He even said it himself. Oh, my ego took over, and I lost my way with asking for stars. Lost his way. Jesus Christ! Has anybody ever watched a live when he's asking for stars? Where he starts threatening people. If you don't give me stars, I'm fucking off, and you won't see me. Give me stars. Give me stars. Give me stars.
I put the video. There's a 2 minute. I put a 2-minute video up on the page this morning of one of his lives where he says he's fucking off if people don't send him stars. And you know what's really funny is when we want to not admit to something, we use what's called distancing language, right? So he can't ever say I was asking for money. He will always say I was asking for too many stars, because that's his way of distancing himself from the fact that he knows he was asking for money. And I get that. And you know, when he held his hands up and everything, I was like, right, you know, I'll quite happily, if he's delivering a service or he's doing something good and he does the right thing, I was more than prepared to let him do that, and good luck to him. But it became apparent really quickly that, and then I mean, within a few days, he just fell back into it, and he's back on the internet, and none of his behaviour's changed. He couldn't beg for stars because he didn't have them, but he could still beg for subscriptions and shares to grow his following so that he could get his stars back. And there's no doubt in my mind, if they'd have given him stars that day, he'd be doing the exact same thing. And he's still spouting that thing about how he wants to do stuff for charity. Well, you've brought in probably £250,000 and you've admitted yourself, Sinead, you only gave 3k to charity. So how the fuck, you know, why would you be trusted to do that again? You've already proved that you're not capable of making them decisions of yourself, and it doesn't burn in you morally to do things for charity. You'd rather buy a £600 t-shirt and sit there eating Wagyu beef than you would give that money to charity. And unfortunately, it's not just words. You've been demonstrating it to everyone all year. So anything you say now, unfortunately, it's just words. And just because you say words, it doesn't make them true, does it? So, you know, and really, he was given a second chance. We did give him a second chance. And all he's just done is prove that even given a second chance, he's still not capable of doing the right thing. You know, and it's not like...
Now, go on,
God, it's not like he's lived a great life previously. I mean, you know, he's not been working for charities all his life or doing work. He was a druggie and he was a drug dealer. All he's achieved in his life is to get off drugs and alcohol. Well, millions of people out there have done that. They don't think that then entitles them to go and beg for other people's money. And he was on an episode of Come Dine With Me. And if he was a public figure and he was famous, when he lost his page, then 200,000 people would have immediately resubscribed to his new page, or at least the majority of them would. And he wouldn't have had to buy any subscribers, because that's not what people who are famous, genuinely famous, have to do, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, here's the thing. He thought that, you know, he was just going to go into a group, get a couple of people doing a live every week, and, you know, that was going to cure people of their alcohol addiction or mental health or whatever the case may be. And anybody that reached out for help from on his thing, it wasn't like, can someone contact him? And one of the admin team contact him? You know, he should have had, you know, a team in place where, you know, a lot of, you know, like what we do in the hunting community, there is after teams out there that will talk to people and stuff like that. He should have had those in place, you know, that someone reached out, not ridicule them, go, well, who do you think I am? Don't tell me, go ring the Samaritans, ring this person. It's like, what? Hang on, you're fucking sitting there screaming for stars and subscriptions. You're telling people you're going to fucking cure them, and they're reaching out for help, and all you can say to them is ring the fucking Samaritans. You know what? He's a fantasist. That's all he is. And you know what? I don't believe half of his fucking stories that comes out of his mouth, because he's a narcissist, and most narcissists are really good talkers, you know. They talk
well, his mum was a drug dealer. Now she's not a drug dealer, so it's just alert.
He was dead. So, get that. He's actually dead.
You know, he's only read 3 chapters of the book, and he's already admitted that a big part of it's lies. So, unfortunately, when you do things like that, it brings into question, well, what else have you lied about in the book, and what else are you willing to lie about?
Yeah.
You know, that what builds trust in life is doing what you say you're going to do. That's where trust comes from. That one statement is where trust comes from. It's doing what you say you're going to do. And he fails to do that on every level, right down to him saying he was going to ring you offline, Louise. He's 3 times he said he's going to speak to me offline. And now he's done a complete reversal, and he's saying, I'm not having any of them over here. I'm not speaking to any of them. So again, you're just not a man of your word, James. So, you know, whatever comes out of your mouth now, you can't expect anyone to believe. And, you know, that you're a master of your own destiny. You've created that. You made those decisions to make those statements and then not follow through. So don't boo-hoo when everyone calls you out for what you are. Fucking knobhead. Sorry.
No, all
I
right.
left him our response to his you leave us alone and I'll leave you alone, and because otherwise I'm going to get you with Decker Heggie. So I left him a little response on the page to say that we'd had a chat and our answer was no, and we can't wait to see the Decker Heggie show. So just in case you're listening, James, just to reiterate, that is our position that we have taken. So you crack on, mate, and we'll crack on. We'll see where it gets us.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, as I said, let him do his podcast with Becca. He thinks that people are speaking about him because of this podcast. No, Shinny. No, people are speaking about you because guess what? You're a celebrity and people talk about celebrities. So, you don't see any other big celebrities going around asking people not to talk about them. He's a fucking, honestly, God, he's a mouse bag. Frankie, what do you think anyway?
Fucking hell. I don't know. I'm trying to think. What I do think is fucking. He's addicted to it. He's got to be a fucking. I don't know about an addict. He's got to be a fucking addicted addict to doing that.
Yeah.
He's totally addicted.
Well, he's just swapped one addiction for another, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's totally.
Yeah, he's had a taste for it.
Yeah.
And just can't let it go. And that's another trait of a narcissist. Do you know what I mean? They can never be wrong.
No, he's just addicted to bloody conning people.
Oh, yeah.
It's bloody sad, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Like, it's unfortunate that it is people that, if they still have a drug addiction or they still have, an alcohol addiction or whatever, every penny they have gets spent on their addiction. And he's looking for them to pay them money, promising them the sun, moon, and stars. And, what the sad reality of it is, because he sits there and he talks about himself and what used to piss me off the most, and I said this to him, was the fact that how he would turn around and say to people, he put them in a separate class, right? Because he used to say to people that, people, the way society looks at us, society, and it was like as if he was brainwashing them to think that society is looking at them differently. No, society knows that, a drug addiction, an alcohol addiction, it is now known as an illness. And there's lots of help. Yes, maybe years and years ago you were looked frowned upon, but not now. But every live show he did, he made those people feel like they weren't a part of society, that they were fucking below everybody. And that's what he doesn't realize he's done by constantly saying society looks down at us, they don't like our sort, like, because we're addicts. Like, he's a fucking idiot. He shouldn't be anywhere near it.
That's right.
Hey, you're Oh my God, she's been out for cake again.
I
went to mute myself to cough and I pressed the back button.
Bloody, I'm always doing that.
Oh, there's Salford love, Shinny. Hello, give us a chew, Lou. What kind of chew would you like, love? Very sad. He heard about people in his lives who wouldn't be doing aggressive lives, triggering survivors. Don, exactly. That's exactly it. He wouldn't be doing triggering lives. Well, he just doesn't care. He only cares about himself. Shouldn't be anywhere near recovery.
Not really. Should
Everyone. How are you, Sarah? Which Sarah are you talking to? Look at that. Graham wouldn't mind a chew from Lou.
Mm. Yeah, go and sing us a song.
Where's my dad? Hope the message isn't true that Whitney has been sending Chanel. Salford loves Shinny. That's funny that you say Salford loves Shinny because where was all his backup in Salford?
Oh, bloody twat.
Imagine.
I bet he fucking went bar, mate.
How embarrassing. Like, seriously, how embarrassing.
Huh. I haven't really heard him for a bit.
Carrie hates Salford, really doesn't. That's so true, Carrie. Salford's something like Shinny. So, Salford loves Shinny. Can you post up all the recent attacks on Maxine and stuff? I'm just interested to see. Obviously, there's some horrific ones. The Bluetooth is off. I certainly know about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still reading out that message from Stu going back to months, isn't he? So if he had some like on, he'd be ramming it down our throats every 5 minutes. And all this social services and everything, that was Maxine's ex that rang them.
Yeah.
And I suspect a lot of the attacks that are going on with Maxine are to do with her ex because Shinny was his friend and he stole his missus.
Yeah.
And now that poor bloke's had his kid taken away to a foreign country. So I think I'd be a bit pissed as well if I was him, to be honest. So, he likes to make out that, it's all the trolls and put us all in the same bucket. Well, we're not playing that game, Shinny.
Why don't you come on up here, Salford Love Shinny? We'd love to have a chat with you, wouldn't we, Claire?
Absolutely. We've got a bit of a thing for random strangers going on at the minute. We're like surprise guests. And BG was good fun last night, wasn't he? I liked him.
Yeah, I believe though that Johnny Shine said that was his brother.
Oh, Jesus.
What did Jeff Green who won last
No, a guy by the name of BG from the States. He's actually a night chap.
night? Oh, right.
I think Wes scared him off though. There's a rumour messages to Maxine are coming from closer to home. Well, Kathy, do you know what? Apart from the very odd comment here and there I've seen about Maxine, nothing else. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely nothing else. So I think he's full of shit. Oh my God, is that true, T? True T about the ex? The robbing blade for him. Oh, yeah, Don, apparently so. Because there was literally only a week or two in between her being with her ex and then being with Shinny, and then all of a sudden she was pregnant. And the ex wanted to do what I've heard now, I'm not saying it's true. What I've heard is apparently the ex wanted a DNA test done and they done a runner.
Oh,
But here's the thing, he's not thinking about, he's asking people to have morals. Where's your morals when that poor child is taken away from his father, Shinny? Do you know what I mean? Why is everybody to think of your family? What about his family? Yeah, Maxine's his mother, that's fine. But he also does have a father too. You're not thinking about that child's mental health, are you? Dragging him away from his father.
He don't give a shit, does he?
No.
He's a fucking arsehole.
Well, I do know that I do remember there was a couple of his lives, well, kind of a lot of his lives actually. A girl used to comment on them, and I didn't know who she was. Yeah, Shergy, I thought someone screenshot that and sent it to me, love. But apparently this girl was a friend of Maxine's ex, and she had quite a lot to say about Shinny and Maxine, which wasn't too nice. But what Shinny did was Shinny allowed her, he didn't block her. Obviously, let her say what she wanted to be saying, like, and then was screenshotting it. But, you know, she could have been that young lad's auntie or something and was angry that all of a sudden they see him quite a lot and now they're not allowed to see him. But, you know, you don't see Shinny fucking jumping in there and having morals himself.
There's a girl
Come to
put
that
Kathy
side.
Rosper. I've said this so many times, but there's a third guy in our group who said he slept with the same week as well.
Yeah, I've heard that. Don't know if it's true or not.
Was that girl Kathy, was it?
No, she was in a relationship with Shinny when he got with Maxine. She only found out when Maxine got pregnant.
No. And he's asking people to find the moral.
And Maxine's ex was a mate of Shinny's, and they all went out for a night out. And apparently there was lots of substances and drinking alcohol going around it. And this is at Christmas, despite him, you know, being sober for whatever. And her boyfriend went home early. I don't know if he cried off ill or something like that. And Shinny promptly took Maxine home and got her up the duff. So, yeah, you're right. He's got a bit of a cheat to call anybody else's morals. And let's face it, guys, if you track back on the maths as to when he was in addiction, it's quite obvious that he missed his entire fucking kids' childhoods because he was in addiction and he was dealing drugs for most of their lives. So it's a bit rich to start talking about fucking parenting and kids and looking after them and stuff. He was looking after his kids when he was drug dealing and doing what he was doing. It weren't him, was it? I suspect. So, you know, he needs, you know, it's about engaging one's brain before words come out of your mouth. Because unfortunately, when you do it on the fucking internet, there's a record of it. Do you know what I mean? You have to be you ought to be very careful what you say, really, because some things are like toothpaste. Once it's out the tube, you can't get the fucker back in again. It's just the way it is. So yeah, but
that girl, Counselor Kat or something her name was. I'm pretty sure it was her he was seeing when he was.
It was definitely her. And I think from what I can gather, he promised her the world, and she thought they were still together. And then it was announced that Maxine was pregnant and he was with her. I mean, it must have really fucking broke her heart.
That's terrible, isn't it? What a scumbag.
And then he stiffed her over the book. He obviously promised her the world about that. And I don't know if I stuck the boot in on that because I went on one of her lives as Wayne's legal team. And I wasn't trolling her. I wasn't being horrible. But what I did say to her was, had she read that book, because it's a very dangerous thing to do, is to add your bits and sign your name off in a book when you don't know what's been written in it, especially when he's implicating people in drugs and alcohol and crimes, and because they are crimes that he committed. And I said to her, You need to get some legal advice, and you need to get someone legal to look over that to make sure that you're not implicating yourself or signing off on something. And it was only a few days afterwards did he announce that Kath wasn't going to be a part of the book anymore, and that he had his niece or Maxine's niece or whatever was going to do it. And if I'm honest, I genuinely hope that that was because of what I said to her, and I did say it to her out of genuine concern. You know, because he's so fucking useless. God only knows what he would say in that book, not realising that, you know, there's legal ramifications for things that you say, especially when you're naming people in crimes and things like that. You know, it has ramifications.
Joanne said, is it not the case that if one parent takes the child out of the country without permission, after a certain amount of time, it can be classed as kidnapping? Oh, we'll have to ask our legal advisor, Lynn Saddlebags, on that one.
When we get off, I'll go and ask Wayne's legal team. I'll get back to you. I know Wayne's legal team very well, it seems. But yeah, I mean, I don't know either what kind of treaty we've got with Cyprus. As far as I know, they're not a non-extradition country. But I do genuinely think that she saw the wheels falling off with her business over here. And Cyprus is well known for that sort of thing not being regulated. And I can't believe it's a coincidence that she's ended up over there. Can't be a coincidence.
Is that not where her business is, though?
No, she's setting up a new business over there, because one thing Cyprus is famous for is unregulated cosmetic surgeries.
Oh, look.
So she's going up there to set up her businesses, but in Cyprus, because like you said earlier, Louise, the regulators are starting to come down on people over here.
Yeah,
you know,
starting so long ago.
And I've seen a couple of articles about her pharmacy, and that people, you know, have said they won't use that anymore. And it's always been quite controversial what she's done. She was on that Jeremy Kyle files, wasn't she?
I don't know.
So, yeah, so, you know, she's always been plagued with herself, her businesses, you know, with bad publicity, quite a lot of bad publicity as well. But because there was no laws surrounding it, you know, unless you, as we know, unless you.
You still there, Claire? I can't hear you. Can anybody hear Claire, or is it just me? Claire, come off and come back on, because you're silent. I don't think, Philip, you can get citizenship off the back of a birth of a child. Yeah, I don't know what happened, Claire. Probably our battery died, because the StreamYard does fucking suck the life out of the battery of your phone. Your phone would be real hot. Something annoyed him yesterday about fellowships. Yeah, Baba, I agree. I think it's the whole combination of, you know, when you think of it, all the big lives he's done, and he's been happy, and he's walking on the beach, and this is the life, and oh, look at me in the swimming pool, and do so many laps a day, and I'm drinking this and eating his protein bars, slapping away, and all of a sudden then she got that big hit. She wasn't allowed at one of the biggest expos, because the other companies didn't want her there, and that speaks volumes. So at the end of the day, obviously the other big companies were going to pull out if she was allowed a spot. And that would have been, like, as she said, if anybody listened to her live, she done, I think, with some reporter fella. She said she spent quite a lot of money for marketing and whatnot for this expo, and had paid quite a lot of money out. So she'd take that as a hit. And then now to find out that all these big companies don't want to work with her because of her other company. Well, I'd say that's fucking, she's probably having, and I don't know whether she was married to the other fella or not. He'll take half of everything she owns if she was. We don't know whether there's big proceedings going on there. We don't know whether he's looking to get the child back to England, because at the end of the day, that child is a British citizen. Yeah, going fishing and whatnot. Someone made a comment about the fellowship and he went crazy. Doesn't surprise me. Jeez, Jackie, I didn't know that. You had to have contacted a contact centre. I don't know, Eileen. I think his Instagram is locked down. He's alienated self for people, fellowship members, Horax. Started on the amputee guy again. The list is endless. Exactly. Do you know what? He is the biggest bully out there. Without a shadow of a doubt, he is a fucking bully. And then because people retaliate back to him, he fucking cries like a little bitch online. Like, does he not watch back his lives and cringe at himself? Because I know everybody, a majority of us looking at his lives cringe. And I tell you what, I noticed. I saw a live that he done last year, or not even last year. It was in her place. Do you remember when he gave out our address, our postcode? So he only got with her in January, and he had like one of those Gillette things on him, and his arms is now double the size of what they were only going back to January. And back then he was already going to the gym and stuff like that. So I'd say he's on fucking quite a lot of steroids. So majority of his rage is fucking roid rage. Is that what you call them? He never shares proof. All lies. Exactly, Melanie. All lies. Hi, Maureen. Steroids, yeah. 100%. He's a fucking steroid head. He's aged a lot in 8 months as well. Yeah, he has quite a lot of grey hairs since. That would explain the outburst. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. If you all go back and look, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. Someone sent it to me. I can't even remember who it was. And it was the one where, because do you remember he was saying he never gave her address out? And he was actually on the live asking her what her address was. And I think it was the fucking maid or the cleaner or whatever she was getting it for him. And he's sitting there laughing, and you could see the records on the ceiling. So it was in her music room he was doing it. And he had pretty much black hair, and he was half the size of what he is now. But that's all steroids. Pumping the steroids into himself. I have a guest. Okay, it's not letting me put you back on. It's not letting me let her back on. Did you get on yourself? Hello, Claire. Claire. Claire, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Maybe not, Aaron. No definition is, but yeah. Do you know what, Jack? Here's the thing: if he's done quite a few lives, and he's sitting down, and although he has the muscles in his arms and his neck, you can actually see his fat belly. It's like, what the hell? And then when he's taking pictures, like the one with the car, he pulls his shorts up and I don't know, flexes his legs or whatever to make them look muscle. He's an absolute melon. Anyway, guys, I did say I was only going to come on for an hour, so I'm going to wrap this up. Hope you all have a fantastic Sunday, and you never know, we might catch us later if the lads want to do a live. Be safe.